So if you want to know how the world treats you, have you ever stopped to ask yourself how you treat the world?
Oh, wow. That's quite the question to kick things off.
Right. It sounds so simple on the surface. Um, Almost like a riddle you'd find inside a fortune cookie or something.
Yeah, definitely one of those things you read and just kind of nod at.
Exactly. But I want you, the listener, to really turn that question over in your mind for a second because usually, we approach our daily lives from the exact opposite direction.
Oh, 100%. We absolutely do.
Like we wake up, we look around, and we instinctively ask, what is the universe doing to me today? Like, what obstacles are being placed in my path right now?
Yeah, we operate with a pretty heavy dose of main character syndrome, I'd say.
Main character syndrome, yes. That is exactly what it is.
We tend to view ourselves as the protagonists of this movie, where the world is just, the setting. Or, honestly, worse, we view the world as an active
Like it's
antagonist.
out to get us.
Right. We're constantly evaluating the environment based entirely on what it's throwing at us. We categorize everything strictly as good luck, bad luck, a convenient opportunity, or just an unfair obstacle.
It's a very passive way to experience existence when you think about it.
It really is very passive.
Well, today for this deep dive, we are completely flipping that script.
We are definitely going into some challenging territory today.
For sure, we are unpacking a piece of source material that totally challenges all those fundamental assumptions about luck, about victimhood, and just our entire relationship with the universe.
And we should probably be clear up front about this.
Oh, absolutely. Our goal here isn't to endorse this worldview or tell you, hey, this is exactly how the universe works. Not at all.
Right. Our mission is just to explore it.
Exactly. To explore it as a fascinating, really radical lens through which you can examine your own life.
Because it is a dense, deeply provocative text. We are looking at a short essay written by Shufeng.
Okay, and when was this written?
It was written on December 25th, 2022, and it was edited by Kinyu.
Got it.
Yeah. And the essay is titled, appropriately enough, How Does the World Treat You?
Very direct title.
Very direct. And the author presents a worldview that is, I would say, uncompromising. It's strict,
Mm-hmm.
and it's intensely reciprocal.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's no gentle on-ramp to this philosophy at all.
None. You just get dropped right in.
So let's jump right into that philosophy then. The author begins this whole thought experiment not by talking about human society or the economy or, how we treat our neighbors.
Which is where you'd expect a piece about how we treat the world to start.
Right, right. But instead, the essay asks us to literally look up at the sky and look down at the ground.
Yeah, the author starts by establishing this sort of physical baseline of existence.
A physical baseline. I like that phrasing.
Well, it's like before we can even begin to untangle the complexities of human relationships or, our personal anxieties, the text forces us to examine the raw materials of life.
The stuff we completely ignore every single day.
Exactly. The author points out that the sun gives you light and warmth every single day without fail,
Unconditionally.
unconditionally. And the earth produces the food, the vegetables, the fruits, and the grains that you need to physically survive.
It's just all there for us.
Yeah, nature nurtures us with water and air. It's just a constant stream of provision.
And the essay poses this recurring, almost rhythmic question after each of these fundamental facts, which is, how does the world treat you?
Right, like a refrain.
Yeah, the sun comes up, it warms your face, it powers the entire food chain. How does the world treat you?
It's a really powerful rhetorical device.
It really is. The text is basically asking if we actually show any respect or gratitude for these continuous gifts. Are we respecting nature or are we just polluting it while demanding more?
Which is a heavy critique of human
It's
entitlement,
massively heavy.
because we treat the foundational elements of our survival as a given. It's almost like background noise to us.
Right, like oxygen is just expected.
Exactly.
Mm.
But the text frames them as active, intentional gifts from what the author calls the greatest creator.
The greatest creator, right?
Yeah. And furthermore, the essay actually shifts from the environment to our own biology, which is interesting.
Oh, right. The part about the body.
Yeah, it points out that you have been given eyes to see the road ahead and to appreciate the beauty of nature.
Which is incredible when you stop to think about it.
And you have been given what the text calls a perfect body to experience various sensations.
Okay, yeah, I really want to pause on that. I found that specific phrasing, a perfect body to experience sensations, really striking.
How so?
Well, because the immediate modern reaction to hearing perfect body is to say, Well, my back hurts and I'm not an Olympic athlete, so my body clearly isn't
Oh,
perfect.
sure, we instantly go to aesthetics or fitness.
Exactly. We think of Instagram models, but the text isn't talking about aesthetic perfection at all.
No, not at all.
It's talking about the sheer biological miracle of just having the sensory machinery to feel the wind on your skin, or taste an apple, or see a sunset.
Right, it's the mechanism of experience itself.
Yes, the mechanism itself is perfect for what it needs to do.
And the essay argues that because you possess this intricate machinery and because you are placed in an environment that's perfectly calibrated to sustain it with water, air, and food, you are deeply cared for.
Deeply cared for, that's a nice way to frame it.
Yeah, the author concludes that the greatest creator, the earth, nature, and the land, they all treat you like a precious child.
A precious child. It's a very warm image, honestly. But it also highlights a massive disconnect in how we actually behave.
Oh, huge disconnect.
Let me try to explain it through this analogy I was thinking about. So think about it like this. Imagine you check into an all-inclusive 5-star luxury resort.
Okay, I'm with you. Sounds nice.
Right. The ocean view is breathtaking, the climate is totally engineered for your comfort, and there is an endless, completely free buffet of incredible food.
A literal paradise.
A literal paradise. But instead of enjoying this absolute paradise, you sit in your room and completely lose your mind with anger because, like, the room service brought you the wrong brand of sparkling water.
Oh, man. Yeah, that analogy captures the author's critique of human behavior perfectly.
Right. We are so hyper-focused on the wrong sparkling water.
We completely fixate on the minor inconveniences
Yeah.
while just completely ignoring the massive sustaining infrastructure that hosts us.
We take the baseline gifts completely for granted. The author's essentially asking, if you are being hosted in this luxury resort of a universe, how are you treating the resort itself?
Are you trashing the room?
Exactly. Are you yelling at the staff? Are you so focused on a tiny grievance that you've literally forgotten you're staying in a palace?
Which naturally leads the author to ask the next big question.
Which is,
Well, if generous nature provides everything we need and treats us like a precious child, what do you really have to complain about or hate?
right, but okay, any critical thinker engaging with this text is going to hit a massive mental roadblock right here.
Oh, the big one.
Because if the universe loves us so much and the infrastructure is so perfectly designed to sustain us, then why is there so much suffering?
Yeah, that is the ultimate counterargument.
Because it is very, very easy to talk about the warmth of the sun on a beautiful day, but what about when things go horribly, catastrophically wrong?
Right.
And the author actually anticipates this pushback within the essay itself, right?
He does. The text notes that someone challenged the author with a very direct question about this.
What was the question?
They asked, if your greatest creator is so compassionate, why doesn't he save the people from floods and fires?
The classic philosophical problem of suffering.
Exactly.
If the universe is a benevolent host, why do natural disasters wipe out entire towns? Why do fires destroy homes? How does Yue attempt to answer that without breaking the logic of his own argument?
Well, the response is remarkably blunt,
Okay, lay it on me.
and it maintains the strict internal logic of his worldview. The author replies that the greatest creator told everyone to follow the way of nature and what he calls the path of Lifechanyuan.
Wait, the path of Lifechanyuan?
Yeah, and the claim is that if people followed this designated path, they would be spared from floods and fires.
Wow.
And then the author ends the thought by lamenting, why don't people listen?
Wait, hold on, pause on that. The path of Lifechanyuan, what exactly does that mean in the context of this essay?
So the text doesn't provide a big historical glossary or anything, but within the strict confines of this essay's argument, Lifechanyuan is presented as the author's specific prescribed framework for living.
Okay.
It basically represents a spiritual or philosophical path of living in absolute harmony with the natural laws he's outlining.
Okay, I get the concept, but I really have to play devil's advocate here on behalf of anyone listening right now.
Go for it. It's a heavy claim.
It's a tremendously heavy, highly controversial claim. The author is essentially shifting the blame for devastating natural disasters entirely back onto humanity.
Yeah, he is.
It's a form of cosmic tough love. Like, is he genuinely suggesting that all suffering, even an impersonal massive event like a flood, is ultimately a human failure to listen to the natural order?
Yes, that is the exact mechanism the text proposes.
That is wild.
The author views the universe as a hyperlogical, orderly system.
Like a machine.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
In this framework, disasters are not random acts of cruelty by a chaotic universe.
Okay.
nor are they malicious punishments. They are just the inevitable structural result of humanity drifting away from the way of nature.
So it's not a punishment, it's a consequence.
Right. Think of it like the law of gravity. If you ignore the law of gravity and step off a cliff, gravity isn't punishing you out of anger.
Gravity doesn't have emotions.
Exactly.
Hmm.
You simply ignore the fundamental operating instructions of the system, and you experience the mathematical consequence of that ignorance.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the universe isn't malicious, it's just a system with strict rules, and we are basically touching a hot stove after being explicitly told how stoves work.
That is the underlying logic, yes. And notice how the essay uses this explanation of macro-level disasters like the floods and fires to build a bridge to our micro-level interactions.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah. If humanity as a whole is responsible for massive suffering by ignoring the natural order, it stands to reason that we, as individuals, are responsible for our personal suffering based on our daily behaviors.
Let's dig into that personal behavior then, because this is where the essay becomes an incredibly strict mirror for our daily lives.
It really does.
The text presents this highly transactional, totally uncompromising view of cause and effect in human society.
The author lays out what is basically a meticulously balanced ledger.
Ledger.
He lists specific pairings of action and consequence, and he leaves zero room for ambiguity or just bad luck.
No gray area at all. Give me some examples from the text.
For instance, the text states, "When you are in trouble, do you know that it is caused by your own greed?"
Notice the phrasing there. It doesn't say trouble is sometimes caused by greed or partially caused by it.
Right, it's not a suggestion.
It's a direct one-to-one equation. Trouble equals your own greed, period.
The list continues with that same unyielding structure. He says, "When you are in the depths of despair, do you know that it is caused by your own selfishness?"
And despair equals selfishness. I want to unpack the how of that specific pairing because I think it hits pretty close to home for a lot of people.
It's a tough one to read.
When we feel despair, the instinct is to feel utterly alone, right? To think, the world is so cold, nobody cares about me.
That's the standard feeling, yeah.
But the text claims that despair is generated by selfishness. So if you look at the mechanics of that, if you are fundamentally selfish, you hoard your resources, your time, your empathy.
You isolate yourself.
Yes, you cut yourself off from the human network. So the despair you feel isn't the world being cold to you. It's the inevitable isolation that comes from building a fortress of selfishness around yourself.
You are experiencing the environment you designed.
Exactly, the environment you built.
And the text applies this strict reciprocity to how we treat others as well. The essay argues that if you calculate against others, if you're always scheming or looking for an angle, it is only natural that they will calculate against you.
Which makes sense. Game theory, basically.
Right. If you spread hatred to society, society will throw pain back at you. And the author adds a very specific, challenging commentary to that last point.
What does he say?
He calls this return of pain fair and just.
Oh, the idea that our pain is fair and just is a really tough pill to swallow.
It is.
But the essay just keeps piling on these equations. It says, if you don't trust anyone, no one will trust you.
Which is logically sound.
If you don't love anyone, no one will love you.
Mm.
If you show no mercy, the world will show you no mercy. And then there's a very practical, almost economic one.
Which one is that?
It says, if you cut off everyone's livelihood, you will have no way out in the end.
Yeah. It's a warning about mutually assured destruction in our social and economic lives.
Yeah.
You cannot burn the bridge you are currently standing on and expect to reach the other side.
There is one line in this section that I think serves as a perfect diagnosis for modern society. I really want to highlight this.
Sure. What's the line?
The author writes, when you treat emotions as an investment and love as a commodity, regrets and sorrows will undoubtedly follow.
Wow. Yeah, that hits hard.
I want you listening to really reflect on that in the context of the world we live in today.
Mm-hmm.
Think about modern networking.
Oh, where every relationship is about what someone can do for your career.
Exactly. Or think about dating apps where people are just swiped and discarded like catalog items. We are actively encouraged to treat love and emotion as commodities to be traded.
Yeah, the text highlights a fatal flaw in treating human connection like a spreadsheet.
A spreadsheet, yes.
If you view emotion as an investment, you are expecting a calculated return.
Right.
You are not giving love freely the way the sun gives light, which, remember, the author established as our baseline model of nature earlier.
Oh, great callback. The sun doesn't expect a return on investment.
No, it just shines.
Yeah.
But when you treat love as a commodity, You are making a transaction.
And the inevitable result of a transactional heart isn't wealth or security. The text says it is undoubtedly regrets and sorrows, because you just can't build genuine connection on a foundation of commerce.
You really can.
To me, this entire section of the text basically describes an echo chamber.
An echo chamber. How so?
Imagine you were standing at the edge of a massive canyon, and that canyon represents human society.
I am picturing it.
Whatever tone you shout into that canyon, it echoes back with exact mathematical precision.
Right.
If you shout hostility, the echo is hostile. If you shout calculation, calculation echoes back. You cannot shout greed into the canyon and expect the echo to say generosity.
It defies the physics of the canyon.
Exactly, defies the physics.
And, the physics of that echo chamber lead directly to the philosophical climax of the essay.
The big conclusion.
Yeah. If the universe operates as a flawless, unbiased echo chamber, then the conclusion the author draws is inescapable, even if it is deeply unsettling.
And the author actually anticipates that the reader is going to hate this next part, right?
He does. He knows it's harsh. The text acknowledges the friction, stating, "Perhaps you'll curse me, but I still want to say."
And then he drops the hammer.
And then he delivers this definitive statement. He says, "There is no one in the world who is wronged."
Wow. There is no one in the world who is wronged. Let that absolute statement sink in for a second.
It's intense.
Think about all the times you felt genuinely wrong. Think about the massive injustices we see on the news every single day.
Yeah.
To state universally that no one is wronged completely dismantles the entire concept of victimhood. It's a staggering claim.
To understand how he can make such a claim, we have to look at the mechanics he proposes.
Okay, explain the mechanics.
So, the text instructs the reader to objectively examine everyone's past actions and words. If you do that with perfect clarity, the author asserts that today's gains are just right.
Just right.
Yeah. In this worldview, your current situation, no matter how painful or how joyful, is the exact, appropriate mathematical sum of everything you have previously put into the system.
So this philosophy argues that the scales of justice are never actually unbalanced, not even a little bit.
Exactly. The text refers to the Tao of Heaven, stating that it operates without partiality towards anyone.
Without partiality.
It doesn't play favorites, it doesn't hold grudges, and it certainly doesn't make mistakes. The laws of the universe are perfectly clear, and the resulting rewards and punishments are exact.
It is the ultimate expression of personal responsibility. I mean, there is no wiggle room.
Done.
But thankfully, the essay doesn't just drop this crushing existential weight on us and then walk away.
No. It offers a way forward.
If you find yourself drowning in what the text calls the sea of suffering because of your past actions, the author provides a specific lifeboat.
He does. The text concludes with a very practical remedy.
Let's hear it.
The author offers a 6-word mantra to help the reader cross that sea of suffering and reach what he describes as the holy realm.
The holy realm.
Yeah. And the essay notes that in Chinese, this mantra consists of 6 characters. Translated into English, it represents 3 distinct sequential concepts:
And what are they?
repentance, gratitude, and contentment.
Repentance, gratitude, and contentment. Let's break down the logic of these 3 steps because they function as a pretty precise antidote to the exact ailments diagnosed earlier in the text.
We have to start with the first step, which is repentance.
Right.
So how does that function within the mechanics of the author's worldview?
Well, if we accept the premise that our suffering is caused by our own greed, our own selfishness, and our own calculations against others.
Which is what we just established.
Right. Then the very first logical step to fixing it must be repentance. I mean, you cannot change the echo in the canyon until you acknowledge what you have been shouting.
That makes perfect sense.
Repentance is looking in that uncompromising mirror and saying, I acknowledge that I caused this trouble. It is the total surrender of victimhood.
It requires a massive paradigm shift.
Huge.
You are moving from outward blame, asking why did the universe do this to me, to inward accountability.
Exactly.
And only when you clear away that outward blame can you actually create the mental bandwidth for the second concept, which is gratitude.
Which elegantly circles us all the way back to the very first paragraph of the essay.
It does. It brings it all together.
Once you stop obsessing over the wrong brand of sparkling water in the luxury resort, you can finally see the ocean view.
The ocean view, exactly.
Gratitude in this context is recognizing the baseline gifts we discussed at the start.
Right.
It is actively seeing the light of the sun, the nourishment of the earth, and the absolute miracle of your perfect body experiencing the world.
You move from the entitlement of a demanding guest to the profound appreciation of a precious child.
That is a beautiful way to put it. And when you successfully combine those first two steps,
Repentance and gratitude.
yes, when you take absolute responsibility for your own faults through repentance, and you deeply appreciate the baseline gifts of the universe through gratitude, you arrive at the final destination.
The third concept.
Contentment.
Contentment is the logical conclusion of the Tao of Heaven.
How so?
Well, if you truly believe that the universe operates without partiality, and you believe that today's gains and losses are mathematically just right, then fighting against your present reality is totally irrational.
Because you'd be fighting math.
Exactly.
Huh?
Contentment is making deep internal peace with the exact rewards and punishments the universe has provided,
Wow.
understanding that they are fair reflections of your own input.
It is a brilliantly constructed, really cyclical argument.
It really is.
You start by looking up at the sun. You journey down through the darkest, most selfish parts of human behavior and these massive natural disasters, and then you emerge with a three-step mental framework to completely restructure how you experience reality.
Synthesizing everything we've unpacked today, this text really serves as a radical call for absolute personal agency.
Absolute agency.
It demands that we stop viewing ourselves as passive recipients of the world's whims.
No more main character victim syndrome.
Right. Instead, it challenges us to see ourselves as active participants in an entirely reciprocal, perfectly balanced system.
Right.
The reality you experience is merely the echo of the reality you project.
Which brings us all the way back to the riddle we started with.
How does the world treat you?
If you want to know how the world treats you, ask yourself how you treat the world.
It's a mirror.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you, the listener, with a new thought experiment to mull over on your own.
Ooh, I like a good thought experiment.
We've spent this entire conversation exploring the idea that the universe's ledger is perfectly balanced and that our ultimate goal should be absolute contentment with whatever we receive because it is, quote, just right.
Right. That's the core message.
But if we apply that to the real world, where does that leave human ambition or the drive for progress?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Like, if you encounter a deeply unjust system in society, does this philosophy demand that you simply accept it as the perfect mathematical result of past actions and remain contented?
Just do nothing.
Exactly. Or is there room within this perfect mirror to actively fight to build a better system? How do you balance absolute personal acceptance with the desire to improve the world around you?
That is the profound tension at the heart of this kind of worldview. It really challenges the very nature of how we define progress versus peace.
It's a very heavy question to carry with you, but that's what we do here. Thank you for taking this deep dive with us today.
Always a pleasure.
We love taking these dense, uncompromising texts and untangling them with you. Keep asking those big questions, keep examining your echoes, and hey, remember to notice the sun giving you light today. How does the world treat you?